Premier Gospel.
Stay tuned to Premier Christian Radio and Premier Gospel Music for Life. Muyiwa with you until 1 a.m. In the studio with me is Grammy Award nominated, Multi-Stellar Award winner, and Premier Gospel Award winner too, actually, Travis Greene. Welcome to the studio, sir.
Honored to be here.
Thank you so much for joining us. Now, I have a question here from one of your many fans, which says it's your first UK tour, right?
Yeah, actually, my first tour is my fourth time here, but this is my first time doing multiple events and being here, and so I'm just having the time of my life.
Now, how do you think, or what are you expecting from the live British audience? Because I know you've in recent times you've been with some close friends of mine, Pastor Paul. Well, he's more than a close friend. He's a father.
Wow.
In Nigeria. A friend of mine.
He's phenomenal.
He's all right, isn't he?
Oh my God, that man! I mean, he's the second person I met that I think is in the wrong dispensation. It really seems like he should have been in the Bible. I mean, Pastor Paul and Bishop T.D. Jakes. I mean, they're phenomenal.
So you've met these great people. You've seen great Africans. You've seen people in the Middle East. How do you think the British audience will measure up once you're live in front of them?
I got a glimpse of that at TBN. Oh my God, it was out of this world.
They were the best ones.
Oh my God!
Forget those Africans.
Oh man! I mean, it was no workup. It was nothing. I mean, from the first drum and the first word, they were in worship. It was out of this world.
Excellent. So, walk us through a typical Sunday for you. Okay, so I guess the word typical just went out the window because there can't be a typical Sunday. Okay, a typical Sunday when you're not traveling.
Oh, it involves travel. I mean, a typical Sunday is sometimes, flying in and landing in America at 6 in the morning. Our landing on the East Coast of America at 6 in the morning. And
now, forgive us. For those of us who are not so savvy, East Coast, because I always get confused. Which one is East Coast? Which one's Tupac? Which one is...
Pac is West. That's Cali.
Okay,
and then,
California.
California.
Okay.
And then East Coast is New York, D.C., Atlanta, Charlotte.
That's Biggie.
Florida. Yeah, that's Biggie. Yeah.
Okay.
And Jay-Z, they're all on the East Coast.
I'm not going to say anything about Pastor Travis knowing about Tupac and Biggie, but there we go.
So, yeah, a typical Sunday is landing on the East and driving an hour and a half from the airport, getting dressed very quickly, and then getting there in enough time to walk up and preach 2 services. And that's our Sundays, and then go home, take a power nap, eat some food first. I can't eat restaurant on Sundays. I need home cooked. I need jollof rice. I just need something.
And of course, it's the Nigerian jollof rice you want, not the Ghanaian one, isn't it?
Oh, my wife's from Ghana, man. My wife's from Ghana. But she doesn't cook, so I'll take whatever jollof I can get.
Okay, now, why do you think the traditional sound and feel of African-American worship experience has had such a great impact on the church in the UK and other places?
I think it's the first word in what you just said. That's African. I mean, it's not African-American, it's African. I mean, what we do from the rhythm to the sound to the style is really, was birthed out of Africa, which I believe is one of the most beautiful places on the planet. And, it's been very, to me, just breathtaking to see the impact that the music has had across the world and across cultures. And I think music, is the language barrier. It's the thing that breaks the language barrier. Music can break every wall, and so God used it. But yeah, when I go to Africa, I'm reminded of where it comes from, and it's from there.
And one last question for you on this front. You sang at President Trump's inaugural event, and there was a lot of furore about that, some positive, some negative, but clearly you're not scared of getting involved in that field. How would you, in 2017 and beyond, how would you speak to gospel artists, people in creative things on this side of the fence to influence political and social change, not only here, but in your country?
Sure. My advice is very simple. Engage culture. The only way to change anything is by confronting and engaging. There's three responses you can have to culture. There is one of tolerance and just accepting whatever happens. Then there's the other one, which I believe believers have become professionals at, that's complaining. We can complain about culture. Mm-hmm. Or we could do like yourself. We can get involved in media. We can move upstream and actually have a voice. We can get involved in politics. We can get involved in the police force. We can get involved in education. And so instead of sitting back and just complaining, I wish this was like this, read a book, get involved, and engage, confront it. And that's what we did even with the political climate in America. Instead of sitting back and complaining, I had an opportunity to engage in it and to show Jesus and to take his light into a dark area. And when God told me to do it, that's what I did. But the outcome was way more positive. I mean, it was overwhelming positive feedback, way more than the little negative feedback. So I'm glad we did it.
Okay. One that you're not prepared for. So Travis Greene is having supper tonight, and you have the choice of three people.
Oh, that's easy, man.
From any timeline, anywhere.
Oh, that's easy.
Who would those three be and why?
That's easy. That's very easy. I don't even have to think about it. Bishop T.D. Jakes, Pastor Paul from Nigeria, Martin Luther King. Easy. I don't even have to think about it.
Wow.
There's three of the, to me, most profound men that I've ever heard. I haven't heard Martin Luther King speak, live. Of course, he was dead before I was born. But I'm a big fan of his readings, of his theology, of just the way his mind worked, and just being a bit of an intellect. Those three just intrigued me. When I heard Pastor Paul, we was at a press conference together, and when he began to speak, the entire room shifted, and you could feel the tangible presence of God and the weight of his words. And the same with Bishop Jakes. I don't know if there's anyone better with words and storytelling than him. He's brilliant, a consistent man every time I see him. And so those three, I would just sit there, I would keep my mouth closed, and I would have a notebook, and I would just write everything they said. I want to hear every story, and not just where they are, but I would like to hear their journey from their perspective.
Travis Greene, thank you.
Yeah.
Premier Gospel.